Hello, it's Jeff McKerley here, and I am here for story time today. I am trying to figure out how I can see comments as I'm going along on this new beta version of Facebook Live, and I just can't. I don't know how to do that. I don't really understand it. So if you're watching from the Atlanta Artist Relief Fund page, hello. Tell me you're here, and I can comment after all this is over. And if you're watching on my Facebook Live, then I can see what you say. Like, hi, Janie, I see you're there. All right. So today is Friday, May the 15th. It's my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, sis. Hope you're having a good day. And I'm going to be reading 3 stories today, or as quickly as possible. The first one is called Just One More Swim, then followed by I Want to Be a Cowgirl. And then finally, The Wizard of Oz. Supposed to have this beautiful piece of jewelry that hung right here in this section, but it's gone because I believe Arden promptly took it away and lost it. All right, so starting with Just One More Swim. This is such a really beautifully illustrated book, so I'm very excited to share it with you. Just One More Swim by Caroline Pitcher and Jenny Jones. Big Bear's tiny cubs were safe inside her snowdrift den. The cubs woke up. They yawned and stretched. They turned their heads toward the sound of the ocean. Whoosh. Big Bear stood up and sniffed the air. She lumbered out toward the water. The cubs scampered after her, blinking at the dazzling world. Big Bear padded across the ice. She stopped and dug a hole. She dipped in her paw and scooped out a fish. There it is. The cubs did just what Big Bear did. One dug a hole, the other pounced on the cloud of white and frightened off the fish. Not very successful. The first time is always the worst time, isn't it? The cubs squabbled. They fought. They tackled each other and tumbled and rolled over and over in the snow. They ran and raced on their snowshoe paws and tummy tobogganed on the ice, but then they stopped and stared. "What is that?" they asked. The cubs trembled as they gazed at the blue-green water ahead. Every morning, Big Bear coaxed her cubs a little farther toward the ocean. Hi, Mary Nye Bennett. Then, one day, Big Bear and her cubs slowly and carefully made their way to the water's edge. Big Bear gently slid into the icy sea. The cubs jumped up and squealed. "Come back!" they cried. But Big Bear swam out strongly to an island of ice in the waves. There's the island. The cubs waited for her, shivering on the thin ice. They watched seals curve over the rolling waves and saw silverfish flip and spin. The water rippled. The cubs patted it, but it just wouldn't stay still. Then they put 2 paws in and pulled him right back out again. Big Bear called to her cubs to swim over to the island. "Come to me across the ocean," she urged. Up in the air, the seabirds flew, crying, "Swim! Swim!" "You can do it," called Big Bear. "I know you can. Swim! Swim!" And they did. Before they knew it, the cubs were swimming too. Under the water they went, twisting and turning in the aquamarine sea. Up to the top of the water they swam, passing a narwhal with his sword, and a whiskered walrus too. There's the narwhal. There's the walrus. Then they dived down from on high, cutting through the waves. Sounds like a lot of fun to me. The cubs paddled with their powerful paws over and under the Arctic waves. They splashed and thrashed and somersaulted through the icy water. So this is what we do. We can swim too. They paddled and swam until Big Bear insisted, "Come out now." Hi, Mark Schroeder. The cubs pulled their weary bodies onto the ice, shaking rainbow drops all over Big Bear. Then Big Bear led her cubs to where the juicy blueberries grow. The cubs ate and ate until their muzzles and paws turned blue. Look at their blue paws and their muzzles. You know what the muzzle? Big Bear sprawled on her back, paws in the air. She enjoyed the sunshine on her damp fur. But the cubs had other ideas. And as they headed back toward the water one more time, Big Bear smiled as she heard their call. "Just one more swim!" And that is that story. Let me tell you how many times that I said just one more swim. Woo! I didn't want to get out of the water even just to eat something. Swim all day, get sunburned, look like a raisin. You know, when you stay in the bathtub too long and your skin all gets wrinkled. All right, so moving on. This one's called I Want to Be a Cowgirl by Jeanne, Willis, and Tony Ross. Look at that big cap. I don't want to be a good girl. Good girls have no fun. I can't play quiet games indoors. I love the rain and sun. I don't want to be a girly girl who likes to sit and chat. I just want to be a cowgirl, Daddy. What's so wrong with that? I don't want to be a schoolgirl with my head inside a book. I don't want to be the kind of girl who likes to clean and cook. I want to break in broncos and twirl my rope lasso. I want to do the kind of things a cowgirl likes to do. I'll drift across the prairie and sleep beneath the moon. I just want to be a cowgirl, and I want to be one soon. I'll drive my herd of cattle. I'll hear the eagle cry. I'll watch the wolf cubs playing and the river running by. The view is very different from our 20-story flat. I just want to be a cowgirl, Daddy. What's so wrong with that? The sun sets in the scrapyard. There's a stray old dog down there. If I screw my eyes shut tightly, she could be my piebald mare. That's some imagination. I've got my shiny spurs and boots. I've got my cowgirl hat. I'm leaving for the wild, wild west. Now, what's so wrong with that? This old town's too small for me. I know what I must do. I'm off to be a cowgirl, Daddy. What do you think happens? Come and be a cowboy too! And it looks like he left the big city to be a cowboy with his daughter. What's so wrong with that? Be anything you want to be, right? I like this book because in each picture it's like the ones that are inside and outside have like playing cowboy, and then you can see the city in the back. So it's kind of both. There she is playing in the field, but there's the city back there. So she wants to leave the big city. All right, that was I Want to Be a Cowgirl. And now for the pièce de résistance. The Wizard of Oz. Written by L. Frank Baum, retold by Gabby Goldstock, illustrated by, and I'm hoping I say this name correctly, Sheila McNichols. No, McNicholas. So I said the first name right, which was spelled differently than I've ever seen Sheila spelled. All right, here we go. Are you ready? You probably already know this, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Dorothy and her little dog Toto were living in Uncle Henry and Aunt Em's little house in Kansas when a very strange thing happened. A strong wind swept up the house and carried them away. Hour after hour passed, and then the wind set the house down in a beautiful, magical land somewhere over the rainbow. As Dorothy opened the door and looked around, a group of strange little people appeared. One woman bowed before Dorothy. "I am the Good Witch of the North," she said. "I would like to thank you for killing the Wicked Witch of the East and setting us free." "I have not killed anyone," gasped Dorothy. "Well, your house did," replied the Good Witch, and she pointed to two red shoes sticking out from under the corner of the house. There they are. "Oh dear," cried Dorothy. "Don't worry. She was a very wicked witch," explained the Good Witch. "Now her magic shoes are yours. She was very proud of them, but no one knows how they work. Here, put them on." As Dorothy put on the shoes, she asked the Good Witch if she knew the way back to Kansas. The Good Witch and the little people looked at each other and shook their heads. None of them had even ever heard of Kansas. "You will have to go to the Emerald City and ask Oz," said the Good Witch. "He is a great wizard. He will know how you can get back to Kansas." "How do I get to the Emerald City?" asked Dorothy. Well, we all know the answer to that, don't we? "Just follow the yellow brick road," said one of the little people. "Follow the yellow brick road." "Follow the yellow brick road!" "Follow the yellow brick road!" "Follow the yellow brick road." Follow the yellow... All right. Dorothy and Toto quickly found the yellow brick road and began their journey. After they began walking for a long time... Let's try it again. After they'd been walking for a long time, they stepped beside a scarecrow for a rest. You can imagine Dorothy's surprise when the scarecrow winked and said, "Good day. Do you mind helping me down from this pole?" After recovering from her surprise, Dorothy helped the scarecrow down. The scarecrow was very pleased. And when he heard that Dorothy was on her way to see the Wizard of Oz, he asked if he could come too. "Perhaps he could give me some brains to replace the straw in my head," said the scarecrow. So Dorothy, Toto, and the scarecrow continued walking along the yellow brick road. "We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We hear he is a whiz of a whiz, if ever a whiz there was. If ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz." And after a while, the road began to wind through some woods. Deep in some woods, Dorothy saw something glint among the trees. It was a man, made of tin. He couldn't move because his joints were rusted solid. "Help!" groaned the Tin Man. "Get that oil can and oil my joints!" Dorothy quickly did as he asked, and soon the Tin Man could move once more. "Where are you going?" asked the Tin Man, after he had thanked them at least 100 times. "To the Emerald City to see the Wizard of Oz," explained Dorothy. "He's going to send me back to Kansas." "And he's going to give me a brain," added the Scarecrow. "Do you think the wizard could give me a heart?" asked the Tin Man. "I expect so," said Dorothy. "Then I'll come too," he decided. Dorothy, Toto, and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man were walking through the forest. "We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We hear he is a Wizard of Oz." When they heard a terrible roar, and then a huge lion jumped out and knocked the Scarecrow to the ground. Toto raced up, barking, and the terrible lion opened his jaws to bite him. Dorothy rushed forward and slapped the lion on the nose. "Oh, you coward!" she cried. "You should be ashamed! A great beast like you trying to bite a tiny dog?" Hi, Alan. "I know I'm a coward," sobbed the lion. "I can't help it. Everyone expects me to be brave, but I'm just a big scaredy cat. I just haven't got any courage." "Perhaps Oz could give you some courage," suggested the Scarecrow. And then they explained how they were all on their way to the Emerald City to seek Oz's help. The lion quickly decided to join them, and they set off once more. Sing along. "We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We hear he is the whiz of a whiz, if ever a whiz there was." The friends continued their journey until they came to a glowing green city. They had arrived at the Emerald City. Dorothy rang a bell, and the gates swung open. A soldier stood before them. "I'm the guardian of the gate," said the man. "What do you want?" "Well, you've come to see the Wizard of Oz," explained Dorothy. "Well, I hope you have a good reason," said the man. "Oz is great, but he's a terrible wizard. He rules the Emerald City wisely and well, but if you are dishonest or just plain nosy, he could destroy you. Few have ever dared to ask to see his face. I will take you, but you must take great care." They all followed the soldier through the city to the palace of the Great Oz. Hi, Amanda. The soldier went to tell the Great Oz that he had visitors. When he returned, he told Dorothy and her friends that Oz would see them one at a time. Dorothy went to the throne room first. In the middle of the room, an enormous head floated above an emerald throne. "I am Oz, the great and terrible," roared the head. "What do you want?" "I am Dorothy, the small and meek. I want you to send me back to Kansas." "I will, if you kill the Wicked Witch of the West, like you did the Wicked Witch of the East," said the head. "But I killed the Wicked Witch of the East by accident," wailed Dorothy. "How can I kill a witch?" "I don't know," replied the head. "But don't come back until you do." Feeling very sad, Dorothy went back to tell her friends what the wizard wanted her to do. The next day, the Scarecrow went to see Oz. When he entered the throne room, he saw a beautiful lady sitting on the emerald throne. When he asked her for brains, she told him that he must help Dorothy kill the Wicked Witch of the West. The Tin Man entered the throne room next. This time the wizard appeared as a terrible beast with 5 eyes and a huge woolly body. When the Tin Man asked for a heart, he was told that he must help Dorothy kill the Wicked Witch of the West. Next came the Lion. He saw the wizard as a huge ball of fire. The ball of fire told the Lion that if he wanted courage, he must destroy the Wicked Witch of the West. The Lion rushed from the room to tell his friends what the wizard had said. "We will have to do as he asks," decided Dorothy, "or we will never get what we want. Hi, Michaela." "Good luck," said the gatekeeper, pointing out the path to the witch's castle. As they entered the strange country, they didn't realize that they were being watched. The Wicked Witch of the West had only one eye, but it was as powerful as a telescope. When she saw the uninvited guests, she was furious. She put on a golden cap and said slowly, "Zizzy! Zuzzy! Zick!" A crowd of winged monkeys immediately surrounded the witch. "Destroy the Tin Man and the Scarecrow," she commanded, "and bring me the others." The winged monkeys quickly found Dorothy and her friends. Some seized the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and dropped them into a deep ravine. Others caught Dorothy, Toto, and the Lion and carried them back to the witch's castle. Bum bum bum, oh wee oh, yo. The witch was frightened when she saw that Dorothy was wearing the Wicked Witch of the East thread shoes. She knew they were very powerful, but when she realized that Dorothy didn't know how to use their power and decided to steal them. The witch said some magic words to make Dorothy fall over. I wonder what she said. As Dorothy stumbled, one of her red shoes flew off and the witch snatched it up. Dorothy was so angry that she threw a bucket of water over the witch. The witch shrieked with fear and began to melt away. "I'm melting! I'm melting! What a world! What a world! What a world!" Soon all that was left of her was a brown puddle. When the witch's slaves saw that the Wicked Witch of the West was dead, they rescued the Tin Man and the Scarecrow. And then Dorothy used the witch's golden cap to get the winged monkeys to take her and her friends back to the Emerald City. Oh, she's very resourceful. She knew exactly what to do. When the friends rushed into Oz's great throne room, a great voice spoke to them. "I am Oz, the great and terrible. What do you want?" "We have destroyed the Wicked Witch of the West," said Dorothy. "Now we want what you promised us." "Come back tomorrow," said the voice. Hearing this, the Lion roared. Toto jumped in alarm and knocked over a screen to reveal a little man. "Who are you?" cried the Tin Man. "I am Oz, the great and terrible," squeaked the little man. "Or rather, I've been pretending to be. Really, I'm just a man who accidentally flew to Oz in a hot air balloon." "So you won't be able to give us the things you promised?" cried Dorothy. "Don't worry," said the little old man. "I can still help you." And he gave the Scarecrow a special stuffing for brains. He gave the Tin Man a red silk heart. And he gave the Lion a drink to give him courage. "If I were king of the forest..." How will I get to Kansas? Asked Dorothy. We will fly there in my hot air balloon, said the little man. Following day, Dorothy, Toto, and the wizard climbed into a hot air balloon. The wizard waved to his people. I'm going on vacation, he told them, and while I am gone, the scarecrow will rule over you. As the balloon started to rise, Toto jumped out of the basket, and Dorothy jumped out after him. There was no stopping the balloon. It flew away, leaving Dorothy and Toto behind. Dorothy was very sad. I'll never see Uncle Henry or Auntie Em again, she sobbed. And then suddenly, a good witch appeared. I am the good witch of the South, she smiled. How can I help you? Help me get back to Kansas, said Dorothy. Your red shoes will carry you there, said the witch. Just knock the heels together 3 times and ask them to take you wherever you wish. It's not exactly how I remember it, but close, right? Dorothy thanked the good witch and kissed each of her friends goodbye. Then she picked up Toto and tapped her shoes together 3 times, saying, There's no place... No, that's not what she said. She said, take me home to Aunt Em. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Instantly, she was whirled through the air, and the next thing she knew, she was back home in Kansas. Dorothy's adventure was over at last, and you were there, and you. Auntie Em dropped her watering can and rushed over. Aunt Em, cried Dorothy, I'm so glad to be home. Because why? There's no place like home, where we've been for 8 weeks. So far. All right, so everybody, thank you everybody for watching. That was my story time. I'm not sure when I'm back on again, but I'm so glad that you're here, whoever's watching. And if you're not, you can watch it on repeat if you want. This is for the volunteering for the Atlanta Artist Relief Fund. So if you get a chance and you have a few extra pennies lying around, you want to shoot them some money. They do a lot of great things for artists who are in need and others who are in need as well. They run errands for them, etc., etc., etc. And so we'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye, Michaela. Bye, Janie. Bye, everybody.